So these are my plants. Looks a lot cleaner now because I planted out the weeds. They still have, of course, seeds in the pots, so I did plant them. And if the seeds grow, they grow. I was going to plant this one with the grass, but I realized that there's a small dwarf flower growing on the inside, on the base there. It kind of looks like moss, but it's not moss, it's an actual flower. And because I planted a lot of dwarf roses and stuff like a year ago, I was sort of thinking, oh, maybe it's a collection of dwarf roses. So I didn't put that in the ground. I kept that to water it frequently because there was as you can see, I broke the side of the pot when I was going to transplant it, but there's actually a very small flower. It's really hard to see. I'm not going to hold that up because it's full of sand. If it grows, it grows, and that will be very nice. I've got some roses growing in this is the pot. Roses are growing in there. First time ever that I've grown roses successfully, and first time ever in a long time at least. I used the plastic bag method and it worked. Usually with roses I've had failings, but it's just my time this month because the seedlings that I planted are growing inside, and I think that all of them are growing. I planted like 3, maybe 4, and 3 of them are growing. And these are my cactuses. I tried to move these cactuses out into a different spot because they're getting pretty long and their leaves are dragging on the floor, but they should be in a more elevated position. But they didn't like where I moved it to. I moved it to the front though, where it's quite windy. They possibly would do better somewhere else, but they need to be protected, which is why they do well in this little bar fridge. But they can't stay there. They gotta move sometime. But they were turning weird and discolored, and I put them back in. And the both of them, there's a zigzag at the back there that was doing quite poorly, and this one was doing worse. But now they're doing a lot better. And these cactuses are all doing fine. The monkey tail's growing. My fish plant is growing. My palms are growing. And if you have like a heart of chains plant, I would say putting it outside makes it grow a lot more strongly than indoors. So very happy with that, even though I broke that off here and I had to plant that, but it's got a much stronger growth now that it's outside. And these 2 pots in the front there are flowers. This one is where a kangaroo berry plant is growing. I'm not really that impressed with the kangaroo foot plants. I think this is parsley because I did put in some curly French parsley. And this is some sort of bush or small bush or shrub that grows like 1 meter tall. I think it's a dwarf. This is where I put Phototinia, that one at the back, and it grew some sort of nut bush. I'm thinking that red one behind it, that little thing of red right there, might be a photo. It's supposed to be a hedge bush and quite a popular one, but it grew all these weird, this nut bushy thing, and I'm not very impressed with that. But if that red thing is a Phototinia, whatever it's called, I'll be like, oh, there it is. There's the real plant that I'm supposed to be growing in that pot. And I planted a huge collection of flowers in this pot, from cosmos to forget-me-nots to a range of other things. These are my daffodils on the left here, and this is like, a little trumpety flower looking thing. I forget what I actually planted I thought I planted zinnia in that pot, but I don't think it's zinnia. I think it's like freesia. I think it's like a dwarf freesia or something. So this is where I was when I felt the tremors this morning. It was all like shaking, and then the tank outside was shaking, and the pipes that the tank was attached to was shaking. This rusty door frame shaking. So what I planted in that fairly large pot was a heap of different seeds. The idea is to get something growing and then plant it out and wait for everything else to grow. So there was just one of these. I can throw that actually away now. But, you know, I didn't plant this version of the carnation, so I didn't plant that one. But I did plant this, which I think is a ground cover, and a dianthus, and cosmos. Planted a few of those, the red one. And then there's some sort of bells, like a bell plant. These are the carnations that I planted. I thought they looked a little prettier. I think they're double coat carnations, but I'm not sure. I planted some forget-me-nots because I've been wanting to plant some new plants. The other one died, and I'm going to plant it in a shadier position. Chrysanthemum, planted a few of these. Cosmos, planted some of that. Cosmos. Argentum ball. And Chinese, the pink one. So I want to do the blue and the pink. So if one starts growing, the others might catch up. But idealistically, I don't know how many are actually going to grow. But I'm trying to grow them in a pot, and then if they do well, or if I notice that they can be separated, because there's a heap of different ones growing. I kind of segmented it. I kept each to their own section, so I did a bundle here, bundle there, bundle there, bundle there, like clock the hands of the, every hour of a clock. And if it grows, it grows. So it's good. I got that collection done. And there was one other flower plant that I chucked out the packet because I'd finished it as well. So out of that, something should grow. And when it does and grows nice and big, I'll plant it and wait for the others to grow. But if they all grew, that would be wonderful because, I mean, they're all variations of plants that are very attractive. And it would be very exciting if all of them grew. But I don't think all of them are going to grow. I think some of them are going to grow, but I don't think all of them are going to grow.